The TVWan News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening, I'm Marisela Kelaton. This is TVWan News.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Join me later for sports.
In this edition, Alotau law and order issues rising, Morbek cattle to be shipped, and Sports Foundation coordinating 8th PNG Games. A contractor awarded a major road upgrade project in the Rabaul district of East New Britain is glad to partner with the government to restore vital services. Kokopo Plant Hire and the Rabaul District Administration on Monday, August 7, signed the agreement to start the Matupit Road upgrade project.
Kokopo Plant Hire, when signing a road project agreement with the Rabaul District Administration for the Matupit Road Upgrade Project, said it is happy to progress work for better road services. Under the contract, the company will be upgrading the Matupit Part 1 and other associated works from Namanula Matupit Junction to Matupit Ward 2. Managing Director Patrick Middleet thanked the Rabaul District Administration for giving an opportunity to the company to work on this vital project that is a much-needed service for the people in the concerned communities. He assured the district administration that the company is prepared to work with the district in future projects to restore services back in Rabaul. The district administration thanked the company for the work that has commenced so far and called for commitment to see the successful completion of the project. The contractor was urged to ensure it delivers quality work and services that are up to standards. Susan Oreape, TVWan News.
A 3-day workshop on corruption risk assessment and mitigation strategies for government officials from Port Moresby and East New Britain Province was hosted by the UNDP and the Prime Minister and National Executive Council Office. The workshop aims to support public sector institutions in piloting corruption risk assessments at the national and subnational level. Was held in Port Moresby in July. A similar workshop was held in Kokopo. During the workshops, government officials engaged in interactive sessions led by UNDP experts. Jeffrey Merley, acting director of the governance branch, said the workshop is important to focus on the prevention of anti-corruption because most times people don't know that they are engaging in corrupt activities. Treasurer Ian Lynn-Stuckey has refuted claims of forex issues in the country despite media reports of hospitals facing issues to get drugs because of forex issues. He, however, blames the current situation on management issues, saying the country has abundant foreign exchange not exceeding 30 billion kina.
Treasurer Ian Lynn-Stuckey has again reassured Parliament that the foreign exchange in the country is stable. The Treasurer further stated that the current account balance of foreign exchange is at 30.9 billion kina compared to 10 billion kina in the last 4 years. He was responding to questions raised by MP for Abau Sepukatemu about a shortage in foreign exchange.
As a former Secretary for Health, I never wrote to the central bank governor asking for this level of support. I think this is a symptom of something very serious with regards to the management of our forex market. I wonder, Mr. Acting Speaker, how many departmental heads or how many small businesses are put on the same queue and therefore waiting for their turn to bring in items from outside to the country. I wonder if the minister could undertake an assessment of how many businesses have closed down because of this forex issue.
There's been a lot of discussions about our foreign exchange situation in Papua New Guinea, but from the outset, can I assure everyone in this House that we don't have a foreign exchange problem in our country at this point in time. Many of the problems that we hear relate to other issues.
The Treasurer also said that the Secretary for Health should not be writing to the central bank and that evil ascertain the underlying issues.
Clearly, these are not related to the availability, are not related to the supply of foreign exchange. It's related to, it would appear from the background, related to management issues faced by the Department of Health. Yes, you're correct, my good leader. During your time, our time, there were no need for departmental heads to approach the governor of the bank. And I don't know the full background, and I'm happy to try to ascertain that and report back as to why that was the case.
Freddie Moe, TVWan News.
The Treasurer also clarified the recent fuel supply situation with Puma Energy, assuring Parliament that it is being addressed and that decisions have had to be made, including a 30-day declaration of emergency that is currently in place.
With some of the issues that we've faced, specifically with Puma, that have created a national security threat, the Central Bank Board have made some decisions which, in the opinion of the government and many, may I suggest, do not support the bottom line of ensuring that our planes must keep flying. Fuel continues to flow through our petrol houses, and absolutely critical, the ongoing government services are provided to both public and private sector.
Milne Bay Province needs a boost to the local police capacity in the province. Governor Gordon Wesley says issues relating to law and order in the province are once again escalating to unprecedented levels. Milne Bay Governor Gordon Wesley posed questions to the Minister for Internal Security regarding issues of law and order escalating in the province. Sea piracy, armed hold-ups on the highways, violent break-and enters into homes and businesses are on the rise.
Identified with update from the Provincial Police Commander that the local police capacity in the province is faced with critical manpower and resources issues to effectively attend to law and order issues and complaints from the public. A need for more manpower to boost the local police capacity, lack of housing and accommodation and daily operation funds for the police and resources are very limited. The provincial government has on many occasions assisted the police, and many of these are routine activities, and will continue to support the police for the sake of our people.
Internal Security Minister Peter Siamalili Jr. responded by addressing the need for more manpower, updating that 200 successful applicants have entered the Bomana Police Center of Excellence for 9 months of police training. Furthermore, the minister says housing, proper infrastructure for the police has been an issue, resulting in neglect and not enough infrastructure support.
What I have started to initiate is a infrastructure 5-year master plan, and that will be activated. Hopefully I can present that in our next parliament on how we're going to progress the intervention of improving Firstly, maintaining our facilities, but also expanding on our current facilities on the need-by-need basis of all our provinces.
Furthermore, the minister told Governor Wesley that he intends to inform him on a later date on the province's requested guns amnesty program. TVWan News continues when we return. Stay with us.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSP Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, let's calories, family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scare rice, don't scare price. Tennessee cola, scare rice, don't scare price. Amber, you like it?
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
From the rich soils of the highlands, the finest coffee has been grown by generations of Papua New Guineans. Expertly blended and roasted with over 80 years of experience, making the finest cup of Nescafe New Guinea blend. PNG's own coffee.
Open nets.
The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023 is almost here.
What a beauty! He's on absolute fire! How do you like that, Natonga? Bainu puts some sugar on the results, and it's Condrani! Game on!
Chef Scott Laseth is cooking up the world's creepiest critters.
You with me? No.
Iguana, hagfish, and wild boar are just some of the items in this season's menu.
Let's eat. And eat. And eat. It's nothing like you've had anywhere.
Hey, dead meat!
Dead meat. An all-new season. Coming soon on Outdoor.
Welcome back. More than 300 cattle in Morbe Province will be shipped to Launakalana in Central Province this week by the Livestock Development Corporation. The majority will be from Arab Station in the Huon Gulf District, while the remaining will be brought from farmers at Sialum, Tewai, CSC. The corporation's main priorities now are to increase the stock in the country and reclaim all of its assets.
Managing Director of the Livestock Development Corporation, Terry Coim, outlined that the Arab cattle ranch was run down and neglected until the formation of the Marape-Stephen cabinet in 2019. A year after that, LDC started restoration work on its cattle ranch.
When there was a change of government in 2019, we decided to take over this place, and
we reached an agreement with the Department of Agriculture and Livestock to revive this place as directed by the Prime Minister, and also it was captured in the MTDP3 for the National Cattle Breeding Program. So we have done this, and we were able to bring it back to where it is today. ARAP will be used as a cattle breeding and distribution center for Morobe province and for other centers across the country. We will from here bring cattle to the southern region. We will also bring them to the Sipik and Medang provinces. We'll also be bringing them across to the New Guinea Islands region. And from here we will also put them on trucks and truck them up to the islands. The cattle right at my back, there's about 300 of them. They will be shipped to Launa Kalana in the central province. LDC is a property in Launa Kalana that measures up to 4,500 hectares of state lands under our custody. So we want to bring all these cattle to breed and to distribute to the farmers in the central province. And so this is the first of many shipments that will be made, and first of many truckings that will be made on these rents to different sites across the country.
Chairman of the LDC Board of Directors, Martin Ginyaru, said LDC was created in 1982 to commercialize the beef industry. However, over the years, successive management and governments have failed to maintain its operations, leading to rundown ranches, losing LDC land to settlers and dwindling stock.
Marape government came on board and appointed a new minister. The new minister quickly stepped in to revive the company and appointed a board, which the board is still continuing under the new minister again, and the same management. When we came on board, it was really, actually we started from ground zero, actually.
The corporation's main areas of priority now are to increase the stock in the country and reclaim all of its assets. The 360 cattle will be shipped to Central this week to tick off the final checklist of the MTDP3 before LDC moves on to achieving the goals set out in the Medium-Term Development Plan for 2023 to 2027, which was launched on July 7. This will be the second shipment of cattle to Launa Kalana from Morobe. The first shipment was in December 2022 when LDC bought 187 cattle from smallholder farmers in Sialum to breed at the Launa Kalana Ranch. Salome Vincent, TVWan News.
In recognition of the government's Connect PNG initiative, the Department of Agriculture and Livestock is now advocating on connecting the rural agriculture population to the market using mobile phones as an ICT tool for development. DAL launched the Government Agriculture Price and Market Information Services on Monday. The mobile-enabled service is to access vital and value-added services to the masses in the country.
The Department of Agriculture and Livestock has officially launched the Government Agriculture Price and Market Information Services. It is a mobile-enabled service to connect to the rural agriculture population. DAL is advocating to fulfill the government's Connect PNG initiative. DAL is now advocating on connecting the rural agriculture population to the market using mobile phones as an ICT tool for development. During the launch, DAL Secretary Dr. Nelson Simbiken said GovMIS was developed to factor these challenges for inclusive agro and economic participation.
Based on simple SMS, USSD protocols and can be accessed by most simplest GSM or one bank phone to the most complex phone, Android, iPhone. From now on going forward, using these simple services, commodity market price information of all commodities, including livestock, spices, and agriculture. They would also be given disease alerts and communication to farmers. When an incursion of certain diseases and pests happens in the country, they will now be well informed using this platform.
According to Data Reportal, a respected website who advocates on mobile teletrends, globally there is about 3.74 cellular mobile connections in PNG at the beginning of 2023. This represents a 36.5% of the total population. Indicatively, the largest group of mobile users are the productive population aged between 18 and 54. They represent 51%, 1.9 million users. With over 86% of the population living in rural areas, it would mean that 1.6 million mobile users are located within the rural areas.
The agri population is well within the 1.6 million mobile phone users, and we can safely say that in every family, one household, there is at least one mobile phone, making companies a very practical choice to deliver the government agri price and market information services.
DAL also plans to accelerate this service with the inclusion of Digicel and other mobile networks. Jasmine Irujak, TVWan News.
Meantime, mobile technology will directly impact both social and economic aspects of the society. This was stated by DAL Secretary Dr. Nelson Timbiken during the launch of the Government Agriculture Price and Market Information Services. He emphasized that technology has a great influence in the country and will directly increase the volume of exportable agri-commodities through this value-added and inclusive participation, underpinning the government's overall objective to increase export through increased production as envisioned in MTDP 3 and 4.
Many developing countries have applied similar models with great success. India, Indonesia, Kenya, among others, have used similar ICT mobile technology through SMEs partnerships within the government to transform their economies. I can never be any happier that DAL, under my leadership, is able to do so with the development of GovMIS through collaboration between local SME partners to develop this concept to implement it.
Back home, 39 Steps, a success, a superb stage show called the 39 Steps brought so much laughter and excitement at the Mosby Arts Theatre. Show director Bob Stanley shared that the comedy show had a small cast. Tickets were sold out for most of the nights and brought in the attraction it needed after the COVID-19 pandemic.
A great show, great director, and great cast behind the stellar show, The 39 Steps, brought so much laughter and excitement at the Mosby Arts Theatre. Show director Bob Stanley said tickets were sold out for most of the 6 nights of entertainment, an attraction that MAT needed after the COVID-19 pandemic.
I saw this play when I was travelling through the UK. I was travelling through the city of York in northern England, and we saw a little production of this play put on by a local theatre troupe, and it was funny as hell.
There were only 4 cast members: Travis Ellison as Richard Haney, Jasmine Simeon as Feme, and 5 other characters, including Denzel Paypool as Clown 1 and Gabriel Chalau as Clown 2.
1926. The Tottenham Hotspurs won the FA Cup in 1926. They beat the Arsenal Gunners by 5-0 in the presence of King George V.
Assistant Admin Officer for Mosby Arts Theatre Yvonne Rupusina said they were pleased to have a good number on ticket sales.
3/4 of the room was filled the first night of the show, and the second night it was full. It was all sold out at the gate here. So overall we did a good sales at the gate. Since 2020, from what I've heard from the past staffs, like this place has been affected by COVID-19. So this show has been a success because it brought in a lot of people.
The impersonations of different accents and acting skills by the cast stunned the audience.
Oh, but there is one thing. Yeah, one little question before I show. Ask away. What are the 39 steps? The 39 steps. Yes, the 39 steps.
She added that there were positive feedback from the crowd, who said the performance was just as fantastic and the storyline. Jasmine Irujak, TVWan News.
Member for Popondata Open, Richard Masara, drew attention to the international award given to Anslom and his band of musicians recently. Masara congratulated Anslom for this milestone achievement, saying Anslom is an example of PNG artists having the ability to go international.
In his congratulatory message to Anslom Nakikus and his band for winning an international award, MP for Popondata Open Richard Masara said the main factor in this achievement is hard work.
Anslom has done is accumulation of a few things, but more importantly is his hard work. And I know our musicians do work very, very hard behind the scene to build on their music.
Masara said they deserve support because their achievement is a testament of how much potential these artists have.
So the important thing is that as Papua New Guinea, what are we going to do? You know, are we going to support this industry or not?
He defended the hard work that artists put into producing their work and called for customers to be conscious of intellectual property.
You know, I want to encourage our young people out there is that, you know, when you are, especially we use this boombox and we like to pass, you know, flash drives with our music, we are not really helping the industry. We're actually killing the industry by not supporting it. So, you know, when you borrow a flash drive from somebody and you transfer his music, just remember that that musician worked very hard behind the scenes to produce that song. We can start rewarding our musicians properly and start recognizing them. I reckon, you know, we can start performing at the international stages. And, you know, Anslom's achievement is an encouragement and a boost for, you know, people like Johnny and, you know, all the other musicians that are coming through. That there is an opportunity and there is potential to grow your industry and make it a renowned industry in the country. So it gives them a hope that there is opportunity out there. You know, I want to congratulate Anslom for his achievement. You know, but you know, on a backflip of that, I'd like to also congratulate our local musicians also for continuing to strive.
Nakikus on the 5th of August 2023 took out the Band of the Year award at the 2023 Singer-Songwriter Association annual ceremony in the United States. Tracy Pa, TVWan News.
And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2790 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2715, $0.4102 Australian dollars, $0.2391 euro, and 38.29 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee closed higher today. The rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, ASX closed lower, and all ordinaries closed lower as well. You're watching TVWan News. We'll be back with the news from around the region after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi Trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Greatness feeds greatness, captivating this generation and inspiring the next. Will you be there to witness it?
Leopards, bison, cheetahs, and more.
Ideally, all of these animals roaming freely would paint a beautiful picture. However, human progress won't allow that. The next best thing is to give them value.
Join Dan Cabela as he sets out on an international journey of discovery within the world of conservation.
There is no one-size-fits-all solution, and science is the best hope to find answers for their survival.
Hard Truths of Conservation, streaming now on Outdoor.
Welcome back. In regional news, a bipartisan group of U.S. senators has proposed legislation to support establishment of national security councils in strategic Pacific Island states that are home to key U.S. military installations and at the risk of undercover activities by China. The provisions are contained in the sweeping National Defense Authorization Act, which was passed by the Senate last month but is still several steps from becoming law. The U.S. recently agreed to renewed deals with Micronesia and Palau and is still negotiating with the Marshall Islands at a time when China is making significant strides into the region. Into the Pacific, a region the U.S. has long considered its backyard. In the tourist city of Cairns, the homeless situation is alarming. An estimated 3,000 people are now without a permanent home, which is the highest rate per capita in the country.
This cemetery in Cairns has been Shane Wolford's home for months, a makeshift camp he's cobbled together.
That tent I got given for free, found that trolley. The mattress I got given.
Mosquitoes and mud, just some of the challenges he faces on a daily basis. And then there's the wildlife.
There's scavengers, they'll wreck you. If you got food in there, in plastic bags or bread, they'll rip it. They go through all this.
He's one of thousands of people across the state on the social housing waiting list. So too this couple, also sleeping rough each night.
I've been on a 5-year housing wait. Over 5 years, I think.
They're desperate for a home.
It's not very a comfortable place to be on the streets for anyone, you know. And like, housing is the most important thing, and you know, we can't go private because it's not in our budget.
New figures from the Australian Institute of Health and Welfare show a 13% spike in the number of people seeking help from homeless services in Queensland this year. This day respite centre, the only one operating in Cairns, is at the coalface of the surge.
What's behind it is the fact that there is no housing available in the rental market. For a lot of people who say are on social security, they can't enter the private rental market.
The centre gives those on the streets a chance to have a quick shower, breakfast and to chat with others going through the same thing.
We provide a level of respect and dignity to people for 4 hours a day.
In the most recent state budget, the Palaszczuk government allocated more than $320 million to build 500 social housing homes it plans to deliver by mid-2025. For many, it's a day that can't come soon enough.
A sophisticated international online child abuse network has been dismantled, with 13 Australian children removed from harm and 19 Australian men charged.
Australian Federal Police says they've brought down a sophisticated criminal network which was allegedly sharing child abuse material online. 13 children have been removed from harm and 19 Australian men aged between 32 and 81 have been arrested and charged as part of this investigation named Operation Barkus. Now, this all began with the murders of 2 FBI agents in Florida in 2021, and they were investigating child abuse there. And after those murders, the FBI tipped off the Australian Federal Police about the Australian members of this global network who were allegedly sharing child abuse material on the dark web. And members of this network were able to search for and distribute child abuse material and used encryption to avoid detection from authorities. Now, in terms of this investigation, the AFP says that 2 men have already been sentenced, including one Central Coast man who was sentenced to 5 years prison for processing 5 terabytes of child abuse material, and 17 other cases remain before the courts. But the AFP says most of the offenders did have a high level of knowledge of information technology and computer work. So in terms of the children who were removed from harm, the AFP says that many of these children were directly abused, but some were removed as a safety precaution.
A $30 million timber high-rise in northern Tasmania is garnering worldwide attention. It's just one of a handful of multi-story designs using mostly engineered timber as pressure grows for new buildings to use less carbon-intensive materials like concrete, steel and aluminium.
It stands out in this city block, a high-rise made almost entirely from timber.
I'm pretty proud of the whole building from a Tasmanian point of view, and a sustainability and a specialist build. Our floor looks magnificent. I love it.
The strength of engineered mass timber is equal to concrete and steel, but it also absorbs the greenhouse gas carbon.
We've taken material that was destined for the wood chip pile, that was going to China to make paper, and build it into the timber for the built environment.
Plantation eucalyptus, once destined for pulp mills, and now being used in engineered timber. A mass timber beam involves placing pieces of timber on top of each other, sometimes perpendicular. In some of the bigger beams, it's layer upon layer upon layer, up to 28 layers, with glue, making it as strong as steel. Researchers at the University of Tasmania have been analysing and testing engineered timber for decades. They're confident the fledgling building product is here to stay.
We've got past infancy, we've got past proof of concept, we're now getting to the thing where it is a contender.
The only red flag, the price to build, is about 30% higher than traditional products.
The speed of construction has really surprised us as well. So we erected 5 levels of mass timber in 3 months, whereas if that was traditional concrete and steel, it would have been at least double that.
A price the owners were willing to pay for sustainability.
The Yinji Bandi compensation case against Fortescue Metals Group's mining operations in Western Australia will begin today. Elders claim the 500 million tonnes of iron ore were extracted without the consent of traditional owners, destroying ancient heritage sites.
This federal court compensation hearing is just the latest twist in a saga that's been running for more than 15 years. And it comes after the Yinji Bandi successfully fought all the way to the High Court to be recognised as the exclusive native title holders over much of the lands on which FMG operates its iron ore mining business here in Western Australia's Pilbara. It basically means that FMG has been mining those lands without permission since 2013, when the mining complex opened. And so now the federal court will be turning its mind to the issue of compensation and what FMG owes the Yinji Bandi Aboriginal Corporation and its members. Estimates put the figure at anywhere upwards of $500 million, and certainly FMG during the time in which it's been operating has dug up and shipped out tens of billions of dollars worth of iron ore, and in doing so has made its founder, Andrew Forrest, one of Australia's richest people. The federal court is going to take submissions from both sides in Roban and next week at the Solomon mining hub itself, which is considered the heartland of Yindjibarndi country. Andrew Forrest is not expected to attend, but certainly the hearings will put a spotlight on his and FMG's dealings with the Yindjibarndi people.
You're watching TVWan News. In sports after the break, 8th PNG Games launched, Lahani secures 6th spot and Rosso bike race a success.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
The Planet Shakers Band is returning to Port Moresby. Join us at the Believe Next Gen and Family Fun Day events on the 25th and the 26th of August at Sir John Guy's Indoor Stadium. It will be 2 days of fun with live music for the whole family. Tickets are now available at Vision City. We'll see you there.
Without a doubt, you care for your loved ones. You want to keep them safe, whoever they may be with, wherever they may be, in the home or facing the world outside. Don't let anything stop you, not even bacteria. Protex helps protect your skin with natural extracts. Boosted with flaxseed oil, Protex helps eliminate 99.9% of bacteria for healthy skin. And with the power of natural goodness, you're ready to play every day. Protex, for the good health of your skin.
Right now, we're facing a man-made disaster of global scale. Our greatest threat in thousands of years, climate change. If we don't take action, the collapse of our civilizations and the extinction of much of the natural world is on the horizon.
Well, folks, after literally years of negotiation between the Fan and the management of Steve Menzies, we have secured the great man for the show. Welcome to the Fan.
This is all going through my head, and then all of a sudden he passes it back. Oh, my God.
Today we have enlisted the help of Panthers co-captain and superstar halfback.
When you've kicked it well, you usually know, and especially on the chip kicks, I usually know.
Thanks to Nathan Cleary, invaluable insight for the fans out there, for the kids out there.
Australia's favourite chef is taking you around the world to meet amazing people.
Teach me how to make this one.
Experience delicious food.
Bon appetit.
And discover the most incredible
Yummy.
flavours.
Yum. Nice.
This is a culinary expedition on a budget.
50 rupees. That's a deal. Whoa.
Cheers. Around the World with Mano Fidel. A brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
Welcome to the John's Family Podcast, people.
Sort of.
What are you
Ruined it?
laughing at? I just thought of something. I don't feel like dancing. On that note, guys, have a good week. We'll speak to you next month.
Welcome back. The PNG Sports Foundation have launched the 8th PNG Games to be held in Port Moresby from 6th to 12th December 2023. The launching took place over the weekend. It was also a formal welcome for applications from the provinces who were sending in teams to participate.
After the 2017 PNG Games in Kimbe, West New Britain Province, Southern Highlands won the bid to host the 8th PNG Games, but with Games infrastructure yet to be completed, the event was deferred. Later, it was decided that NCD and Central Province co-host the Games in partnership with the PNG Sports Foundation. However, in June this year, the anticipated tripartite agreement between hosts did not eventuate and the Games was in limbo. The PNG Sports Foundation has now taken on the challenge to host the 8th PNG Games to set the course straight for future PNG Games. PNG Sports Foundation CEO Albert Veratao said it could no longer be deferred. With the date now set, participating provinces are to contact the Games office and forward nomination by numbers for the 11 codes that will be played before August 15. The codes are athletics, basketball, boxing, soccer, powerlifting, rugby league nines, rugby touch, volleyball, weightlifting, netball and rugby sevens. The PNG Sports Foundation, with the approval of the Minister for Sports Don Polya, is appealing to the provincial governments and business houses to support provincial teams to participate in the event. Minister Polya also appealed to business houses and corporate entities to show support. In addition, the bid for the 9th PNG Games is open for provinces who wish to host the event in 2026. Salome Vincent, TVWan Sports.
The 2 days of cycling in the Rosso mountain bike race attract over 1,000 cyclists from all age groups. Due to time constraints, the senior men's finals have been pushed to Saturday, August 12, including the corporate race.
Held on Saturday, August 5th and Sunday, August 6th, the Rosso mountain bike race saw 1,200 competitors gather at the Lay Showgrounds to demonstrate their stamina and skills in their respective categories of children under 16, senior men and women, and people living with a disability. Due to time constraints, the senior men's finals have been pushed to Saturday, August 12, including the corporate race. With the gate fee set at 1 kina only, hundreds of residents entered the showgrounds to cheer for their representatives. Member for Lay and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso thanked the facilitators and sponsors for hosting an enjoyable and successful event, saying their sponsors contributed nearly 240,000 kina. When the event started in 2020, Rosso Cup had 600 riders. Last year, they had 800 riders, and this year, 1,200 riders. Of that 1,200, 105 are female. Rosso was pleased to note the great turnout, especially that of women and children. Salome Vincent, TVWan Sports.
PNG Hunters captain Hila Halu and Redcliffe Dolphins captain Cameron Cullen expressed mixed reaction after their respective teams' performance in round 20 of the Ostblast Cup at the Santos National Football Stadium over the weekend. The Hunters, sitting in 12th spot, held at 4th place Dolphins to Enham Richel before coming out on top 26-22 at full-time. Cullen commended PNG for such a courageous performance with better execution. He said he admitted his side weren't good enough to stop Hunters' roll on in the end. Meanwhile, the Hunters skipper had nothing but praise for his boys who had to dig deep to sustain the big NRL star-studded side.
Some teams, so they're hard to stop once they get on a roll, and I thought our scramble was good, our effort was really, really good, but we had a few opportunities and we just didn't take them. So I think headed into the finals, keep the energy, keep the effort, but we've got to ice the opportunities that we get.
It's been a while since the Hunters held the Stenzois Cup, so I'm really proud of the boys in their effort. I can't thank those that came out today. Shows how much passion they have in supporting us, especially our families. They made a lot of sacrifice to us to be here and continue to play week in, week out. So I can't thank everyone for their sacrifices, particularly with our families. It's tough, but they understand the sacrifice of being part of this club and going forward. So yeah, thank you very much for their support.
Eastern Highlands franchise Bintagor Goroka Lahanis are back in semi-finals contention after successfully brushing off a strong challenge in EMK Sepik Pride 26-16 in the closing round of the season proper at the Santos National Football Stadium on Sunday. Lahanis have now locked in 6 spots and could be the dark horse of the finals. They face third place Wigmen in the first round of the elimination finals this Sunday.
It's been a 5-year drought since Lahanis claimed their last title in 2018. They had fought their way through from 6th place. Today, they find themselves in a similar do-or-die situation with the aim to replicate the same feat, and it starts this weekend, where every win counts before they get to the big one on September 3, 2023. Over the past 4 years, the club has been going through a rebuilding phase since majority of the 2018 Grand Final playing group departed for other rival clubs. They lost Nicky Hasu, Mark Tony, Norman Brown, Brandon Nima, and Amos Kafare to other franchises. Lahanis is now under former Kungul and rookie digital coach of 2020, Charlie Wabo. After sustaining a strong challenge from the Kimbe Cutters on Sunday, Lahanis secured their place in top 6 and are determined to give the title another shot. Since Wabo's arrival at the club, he has brought in new energy and style and a different approach in attitude and mindset to rebuild the team culture. After the win against Civic Pride, Wabo said they still have a lot of work to do in their defense before they meet Wigmen this Sunday.
From the last weekend game, been working on our mistakes that we need to improve on, and happy with the performance. Things that we need to work on, especially on our attack and our attack and defense as well, to maintain the defense next week.
Lahanis' second rower and senior player Ake Paluse was outstanding against Pride last week. He picked up the Man of the Match award.
I think I'm going to work again, put more effort. Whatever I prepared last week, I made him put more effort. 101% of my game, big finals playoffs.
Terry Longwood, TVWan Sports.
Despite of numerous game stoppages due to non-compliance by some clubs, the Port Moresby Rugby League executive has given the whole clear for competition to proceed into round 2, week 14 this weekend. PRL League Administrator Mike Maino has also revealed that this round 2 will be a shorter due to the anticipated selection trials for the upcoming National Confederate Championship in September.
Competition for the top 6 teams in the 2023 SP Port Moresby Rugby League season is heating up as the finals looms. In the latest executive decision, competition weeks have been reduced in round 2 to give clubs ample time to prepare for the selection process to continue for the Southern Confederate trials in August and September. PRL Administrator Meke Maino said competition is now 3 weeks into round 2 after sorting out non-compliant issues for clubs. Maino is happy to say that the current top 6 clubs are looking strong to maintain their momentum heading into the finals.
In relation to compliance, and the clubs starting to meet those requirements, and the games have gone well into towards the end of the second round, and hoping into the finals. The senior teams, the defending premiers, Royals, the Gulf West, the Hanumbara Hawks, the Hohola Flies, the Dobo Warriors. Those are the top well-prepared clubs for this season. They're into top gear. You can tell yesterday we had a very good game. The Warriors defeated Defense. And we should see improvements in the competitions, especially the teams who realize that they're into the top 6 already. They just don't have to relax.
Maino also said he's seen some big improvement on the field and the club administration as well.
And mention for one, Defense, who's been lagging behind outside administratively as well as performance-wise on the field, has completely turned around now. They have fully paid, and one thing that I haven't heard from any of our clubs for a long time is that the Defense have complied for this year and for next year as well in preparation. And also the Warriors, they have really fully complied in administration and on performance on the field too. They have really lifted. Also with Gulf West, who have taken on board some of the players from the previous suspended Brothers Club, and they have also, to be honest, Gulf West is threatening the defending premiers Royals at this stage.
Meanwhile, Port Moresby Rugby League and Moresby South Rugby League are the only two PRL-sanctioned competitions where players are eligible for selection. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That ends the sports segment. Here is the weather for the next 24 hours.
This has been another edition of TV1 News. I'm Maricela Calaton.
And I'm Tracy Pa. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.